Hi, welcome to baconmad.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make everyone's favourite biscuit, the chocolate chip cookie. So easy to make. So we'll begin with 135 grams of unsalted butter. So we're just going to pop that in to a mixer bowl. You can make these by hand using a wooden spoon if you're not shy of a little bit of elbow grease. And to that we're going to add a mixture of 80 grams of golden castor sugar and 80 grams of light muscovado sugar. So now they're in the bowl, what we're going to do is pop them onto the mixer, cream them together until they're nice and light and fluffy before we add all of our other ingredients. Okay, so our butter and sugar is now fully mixed in together. As you can see from here, it's changed a lovely colour. That's from the light muscovado sugar. It's going to add a real nice depth of colour to your biscuit. So now we've creamed together the butter and sugar, what we need to do is add 1 egg to the mix. So you simply just break this in to your mixer and blend it all together. I'm just going to run a spatula just around the sides just to loosen it up a little bit before we add our other ingredients. We're going to need to add to this 190 grams of plain white flour. We'll also want to add half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. This will just make your chocolate chip cookies taste a lot more sweeter with a nice vanilla flavour. So I'm going to pop all of the ingredients now back into the mixer just to blend them again before we add the chocolate chips. Okay, so your mix should now be resembling a biscuit dough. So I'll show you what mine looks like. You probably just want to get the excess bits off your mixer, but you can just push them through with your spatula. So your dough should look a little bit like this now. It should be quite soft to touch still, and it obviously just now needs your chocolate chips to go in. So I've got 100 grams of chocolate chips. I'm using dark ones. You could use milk, white chocolate, or even some fruit if you prefer not to use chocolate. And as you can see, I'm just carefully mixing the chocolate chips in. Okay, so now all your chocolate chips should be mixed in nicely to your dough. What you're going to need to do is get a baking tray. If it's non-stick, you want to put some baking paper on there just so your biscuits don't get stuck to it. And then we're just going to spoon off some of the mixture, about a tablespoonful, and just roll it together with our hands into a nice ball shape. Now when you position them on your tray, you want to give them a little bit of space because they will spread out in the oven. So we normally say about 5 centimetres distance between them, just so they've got plenty of room and you don't end up with one ginormous cookie that's moulded into each other. What I'm going to do is pop these in the oven, which should be preheated at 170 degrees Celsius. If you have a fan oven, that would be 150, or gas mark 3. So these are going to go into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. It's worth keeping an eye on them just so they don't burn. And also when you bring them out the oven, they may seem like they're not cooked fully, but they will continue to set the longer that you leave them out of the oven. Right, so the cookies are now out of the oven. I've left them to cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes just on the baking tray so that they were able to set. And now what I'm going to do is move them over to the cooling tray just to finish off so that the bottoms don't get too soggy. And then they're ready to eat. So that's it, your recipe for simple chocolate chip cookies.